Okay, so let's talk about To Kill a Mockingbird, chapter 26 through 27. So, at one point in those chapters, it's mentioned that the children are not afraid of Boo Radley any longer. This shows how much the children matured over a short period of time. So, in the beginning of the novel, the children are chasing after Boo Radley. They think of him as a mysterious figure, like a ghostly figure or like a monster that piques their curiosity and also fear, and they sort of find it thrilling and exciting. But then, as the novel progresses, the children are faced with real dangers and the harsh reality of racism and threats against their safety. So they aren't even afraid of Boo Radley any longer. So they saw the trials of Tom Robinson and how an innocent man can be killed by the prejudices of people, and then they were threatened by Bob Ewell. So they are growing up definitely, and then they are trying to understand the complexities and they're trying to navigate through those complexities of the society during those time. So, and then they do not consider Blue Rally um, as a threatening figure any longer, but they sort of start recognizing Blue Rally as a kind but misunderstood individual who's marginalized and isolated. So Blue Rally, he's a mockingbird who is innocent but then misunderstood and should not be killed and should not be sacrificed by people's whims. And then there is a part when the school teacher, Miss Gates, she passionately denounces Hitler's actions, how Hitler is being so inhumane by killing those innocent Jews all over Europe. So she teaches the ideals of democracy in class, but Scout is very much angry and confused when she overhears the comments that Miss Gates makes after the court trial of Tom Robinson is over. So she's following Miss Gates behind and she heard the conversation of Miss Gates and Stephanie Crawford. And Miss Gates says something like this. She's very happy that Tom Robinson was found guilty, and she says, "Oh, I'm sure that those black people learned a lesson, so they should not try to get over us. If we let them be equal to us, they're going to even try to marry white women." So she is revealing a deeply racist attitude, and she's definitely showing a double standard because she's sounding very humane and moral when she denounces Hitler, but then she is supporting human rights abroad, but she is not respecting them at home. So this is revealing hypocrisy of middle class of America in the 1930s, and some people are showing their empathy selectively, and she's showing her moral outrage selectively. So Scout is very much confused and disillusioned by these actions of adults, and then we again face the theme of the novel that children have clear sense of moral judgment. So they didn't learn that much. They didn't have much time to be educated. But when they're little, they just have this clear moral compass. And they're born with this inborn innate sense of justice. But then as they grow older, they are polluted by double standards and the so-called gray areas that adults decide not to judge. So I think these shows the hypocrisy of the adult world. And Atticus, although he is threatened by Bob Ewell many times, he stays very calm because I think he's a lawyer and he believes he has this firm belief in the legal system. So right now, the legal system hasn't delivered justice, but he believes the ultimate um, justice that's going to be delivered through the legal system. And then he's not the type of person who returns retaliation and revenge, but he wants to lead people by showing examples. And then he wants to do things while following the procedures of the law by upholding the law. So I don't know whether Atticus is trembling inside or not, but at least on the surface, he stays really calm. So I think this shows his strength. And again, Atticus is like uh, he's not like a person. He's just like a spirit of the nation, spirit of the law that this country has to abide by. So he's like a moral anchor, not only to his children, but also to the entire community. So he's trying to teach Atticus, Atticus is trying to teach Scout and Jem that true courage is not about physical strength or physical confrontation, but it's about standing up for what is right, no matter how dangerous it is and whether it threatens your livelihood or not. So he is serving as a moral beacon in the community. So Scout is dressed up as a ham in the community pageant. So it's like a play that the children perform on the stage to celebrate the farm produces of the county. And then I think there are certain symbolisms that the costume has. So the costume is made up of thick layers and metal wires. So although it didn't have any such purpose, it ends up protecting her against the attacks of Bob Evil. So I think it represents the unseen protection not only by Boo Raleigh, but then some unseen forces of justice, whether it be God or whether it be the spirit of the country or the spirit of history, or it could tell us the lesson that history will eventually serve us justice. Um, and then the pageant, she participated as a ham in the community event. So she's growing up and she is having a role in the community. But at the same time, inside the ham, she cannot see anything. She's pretty much blind and isolated. And then she becomes a laughing stock on the stage when she fails to show up. She shows up late because she fell asleep. So it probably represents the family's current state of being isolated in the community. Also, it could represent the isolation not only experienced by the Atticus family, but also by those individuals such as Boo Radley and Tom Robinson. Okay, that's pretty much it for today. Thank you for watching.